So we will discuss about the disease spread by pathogen. For my presentation is about virus and fungi. Okay, introduction. Pathogen is an organism that causes disease. Pathogen can be transmitted a few ways depending on the type of virus. They can spread through skin contact, bodily fluid, airborne particle, contact with faces, and touching a surface touched by an infected person. There are different types of pathogen, but we are going to focus on the four common types, which is viruses, bacteria, fungi, and protozoa. So, viruses are made up of a piece of genetic code, such as DNA or RNA, and protected by a coating of protein. Viruses are not cellular organisms and does not carry out any life process outside of a cell. However, viruses reproduce using living cells by injecting their genetic materials into the host cell. Viruses are parasitic because it cannot replicate without a host. Also, virus cannot be cured, but a vaccination can prevent their spread. Okay. So there are three categories of virus. First of all, helicase virus consists of nucleic acid enveloped by a hollow protein cylinder or capsid that has a helical shape. Next, the example of helicase virus is tobacco moxide virus. Okay, for the next categories of virus, there are Isosahandra virus, which is nearly spherical in shape, and the example is small animal viruses. Lastly, they also have a categories of virus, which is envelope virus, and it is covered with a modified section of cell membrane and a protective lipid envelope. Okay, this is the example for the three categories of virus. The virus has 5 steps of reproduction process. First of all, attachment. The virus attaches to the surface of the host. Next, penetration. The viral DNA enter the host cell. And third step is biosynthesis. The viral DNA replicate and the protein are made. The virus insert genetic material, which is DNA or RNA, into the host cell and takes over the cell operation. Next is maturation process, which is the new virus are ensemble. Okay, for the last step, the mature viruses burst out of the host cell in a process called lysis, and the progeny virus are released into the environment to infect new cells. When the virus leaves the cell, it can cause the cell to burst open and die. Okay, I will present a video about the reproduction of virus.
Every cell in your body is a tiny factory, constantly making proteins. Your genetic code, or DNA, directs every activity. Protein-making machinery in the cell reads the cell's own DNA and makes sure the cell proteins go where they're needed. Viruses have their own genetic code, but they don't have the machinery to copy their DNA. So viruses need your cell's machinery to reproduce themselves. A virus starts this process by using the keys on its surface to gain entry. Like a Trojan horse, it enters the cell. The virus releases its own DNA into the unsuspecting cell and hijacks the protein-making machinery. Now, this vital cell function becomes an assembly line for new virus particles. No longer in service to your body, the cell now serves the virus, manufacturing thousands of new virus particles, which are released to enslave more cells, thousands and thousands more.
Okay, so the video is finished. Okay, next. There are a few examples of about deadly virus infection in the past time. So first is flu, which caused 6,000 above annual death, and hepatitis, HIV disease, and coronavirus that happen now. Okay, so there are a few pictures about the infection. Okay, so how a virus spread? Virus can spread and cause an infection through a few ways. Some pathogens are spread in the air, for example, in the form of water droplets, such as influenza and COVID-19. They can spread in the air through coughing and sneezing. Okay, next. Other pathogens can be spread directly in water, such as cholera, contaminated food or water. Okay. Some pathogens are spread by direct contact between individuals, such as HIV disease. The virus can spread by the touch, sexual contact, the chain of saliva, sharing contaminated needles like the picture, and also can spread by insects, including ticks and mosquitoes, can act as vectors to transmitting a virus from one host to another. So, how to prevent the spread of pathogen? I found 3 ways to prevent the spread of pathogen. First of all is good hygiene practice. The most important way to reduce the spread of infection is the good hygiene practices, such as wash hands frequently with soap and water. If unavailable, you can use alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and we must wash hands after coughing, sneezing, or using tissue. Do not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands because the nose, eyes, and mouth are entrance site for virus and other pathogens. Also, do not share cups, glasses, dishes, cutlery, cigarettes, or cell phone because the virus may attack on the object. Next, we also can reduce the spread of viruses by vaccination. Vaccination involves introducing small quantity and dead or inactive forms of a pathogen into the body. Because the pathogen is dead or inactive, it cannot lead to the disease in the patient. The white blood cells are now stimulated to produce antibodies against the dead or inactive pathogen. At the same time, the white blood cell will divide by mitosis process to produce a lot of copies of itself. If the same pathogen now enters the body, even years later, the white blood cell can produce the correct antibodies quickly. This can help strengthen the body's natural immune response and reduce the risk of death besides prevents infections. Therefore, vaccination is the best way to prevent their spread since they can be cured. And last but not least, in the case of some highly infectious diseases such as Ebola and COVID-19, patients may be isolated. This prevents the pathogen from spreading to other people. Okay. After that, I will discuss about fungi, which is one of the pathogens. Fungi do not contain chlorophyll, roots, stems, and leaves. The fungi are heterotrophs, either parasitic or saprophytes. Fungi have cell walls created by chitin, made up of a thread-like network of hyphae called mycelium. Fungi are found in dark and moist places and decomposing or dead organisms. Moreover, fungi can live everywhere. They can be found in the environment, including indoors, outdoors, and even on human skin. These microorganisms on human skin typically don't cause any problem unless they overgrow and multiply faster than normal. Fungi cells contain a nucleus and other components protected by a membrane and a thick cell wall. Their structure can make them harder to kill, and there are some pictures for the example of fungi. So, although there are millions of species of fungi, but only about 300 of them can actually cause infection in humans. Since fungi thrive in warm, moist environments, fungi skin infection can often develop in sweaty or damp areas that don't get much airflow. Some examples include the feet, groin, and spots of skin. Often, this infection appears as a scaly rash or discoloration of the skin that is often itchy. Some fungi infections are very common. Although the infection can be annoying and uncomfortable, it's typically not serious. Fungi skin infections are often spread through direct contact. This can include coming into contact with fungi on clothing or other items, or on a person or animal. So there are some common fungi skin infections that I will discuss later. Fungi infection is also known as mycosis. Although most fungi are harmless to humans, some of them are capable of causing disease under specific conditions. Fungi reproduce by releasing spores that can be picked up by direct contact or even inhaled. That's why fungal infections are most likely to affect your skin, nails, or lungs. Fungi can also penetrate your skin, affect your organs, and cause a body-wide systemic infection. Okay. First of all is Tinea corporis and Tinea capitis. Their name is very similar but is different. Tinea corporis is typically occurs on the torso and lips. It's also known as ringworm. The ringworm is caused by a fungus and not a worm. It typically occurs on the torso and lips. Ringworm on other areas of the body can have different names, such as headache, foot, and joint itch. The main symptom of ringworm is a ring-shaped race. Like this, you can see there is a red ringworm. And the skin inside this circular race usually look healthy. The race can spread and is often itchy. Ringworm is a common fungal skin infection and is highly contagious. It's not serious though. and can usually be treated with anti-fungal cream. While for tiny cavities, it affects the skin of the scalp and the associated hair shape. The symptoms include associated scaling and itching, like this, very scary. Yeah. This fungal infection affects the skin of the scalp and the associated hair shape. It's most common in young children and needs to be treated with prescription oral medication as well as antifungal shampoo. The symptoms can include localized patches that may appear scaly or red, associated tenderness or pain in the patch. Next is the athlete's foot. Athlete's foot, also known as tiny patties, is a fungal infection that affects the skin on your feet, often between your toes. Typical symptoms of athlete's foot include itchy or a burning stinging sensation between your toes or on the sole of your feet. Skin can appear red, scary, dry, or flaky, cracked, or blister skin. In some cases, the infection can also spread to other areas of your body. Example include your nails, glove, or hand. And the picture shows us the athlete's foot. So next is cutaneous candidiasis. This is a skin infection that caused by Candida fungi. This type of fungi is naturally present and inside our bodies. When it's overgrows, an infection can occur. Candida skin infection occurs in areas that are warm, moist, and purely ventilated, means they are not airflow. And some examples of medical areas that can be affected include under the breast and in the throat or the butt, such as in thereby rays. The symptoms of a Candida infection of the skin can include red rays, itchy, small red pustule. Okay, next is drop itch. Drop itch is a fungi skin infection that happens in the area of your groin and thighs. It's most common in men and adolescent boys. The main symptoms is an itchy red rash that typically start in the groin area or around the upper inner thighs. The rash may get worse after exercise or other physical activity and can spread to the buttocks and abdomen. The affected skin may also appear scaly, flaky, or cracked. The outer border of the rash can be slightly raised and darker. And next is tiny vesicular. Tiny vesicular, sometimes called pityriasis vesicular, is a fungi or yeast skin infection that causes small oval discolor patch to develop on the skin. It's caused by an overgrowth of a specific types of fungi called Malassezia, which is naturally present on the skin of about 90% of adults. This discolor skin patches most often occur on the back, chest, and upper arm. They may look lighter or darker than the rest of your skin and can be red, pink, or brown. This patch can be itchy, flaky, or scaly, so we can find that most of the fungi infection is similar to the symptom. Okay, tiny vesiculum is more likely during the summer or in area with a warm, wet climate. The condition can sometimes return following treatment. Okay, for the next one is onychomycosis. I'm not sure I spell it correct or not. So it is a fungal infection of your nails. It can affect the fingernails or the toenails, although infection of the toenails are more common. So we may have onychomycosis. This disease, if us have nails that are discolored, typically yellow, brown, or white, brittle or break easily thickened. Prescription medication are often required to treat this type of infection. So this is the picture of this disease. So you can see there is this yellow color and look like not really healthy. So let's see the risk factors. There are several factors that can put you at an increased risk of getting a fungal skin infection. This includes sharing items like clothing, shoes, towels, or bedding, coming into contact with animals that may be infected, taking part in activities that involve frequent skin-to-skin contact, wearing tight clothing or footwear that doesn't breathe well, or living in a warm or wet environment and sweating heavily. If we do not keep our skin clean and dry, can also increase the risk of getting a fungal skin infection. So this is the picture example of the animal they may be infected. We can see the skin have red patch, and we must protect ourselves from fungal infection by do not share personal items because this is very dangerous. And next is treatment and prevention of this kind of fungal infection. So they have some typo. I forget to delete the slide, so ignore me. Okay, in the left side is the skin fungi treatment, such as cream or ointment, pills, powder spray, and shampoos. Antifungal medication work to treat fungal infection. They can either kill fungi directly or prevent them from growing and thriving. Antifungal drugs come in the variety form, including cream or ointment pills, powder, spray, and samples, like I said before. And in addition, there are some things that we can do at home to help get rid of the fungal infection. These include be sure to practice good hygiene and do not share clothing towels, keeping the infected area clean and dry, wearing loose-fitting clothing or shoes that allow your skin to breathe. And in the right side is the following tips to help prevent a fungal skin infection from developing. As before I say, we must wear clean clothes every day, particularly shorts and underwear. Choose clothing and shoes that breathe well. Avoid clothing or shoes that are too tight or have a restrictive fit. Make sure to dry off properly with a clean, dry towel after showering, bathing, or swimming. And make sure the towel is not sharing with other person. After that, wipe down share surface such as gym equipment or mats. Last, we must stay away from animals that have signs of a fungal infection, such as missing fur or frequent scratching. And this is the antifungal medication. And this picture shows us that we must wipe down the share surface after we doing some activity here and also here. Okay. Next is conclusion. Pathogen is defined as an organism causing disease to its host. Virus and fungi is one of the main types of pathogen. They can cause different disease, and we can do some prevention to stop the spread of the pathogen. And virus infection is very dangerous and it cannot be cured. So we must take care and stay safe. For the fungi skin infection, which are common, although these infections are not usually serious compared to the virus infection, but they can cause discomfort and irritation due to itchy or scary red skin. If not treated, the rest may spread or become more irritated. So we must stay home and stay safe. Okay, that's all. Then after that is Rosny presentation.
Hi guys, today I will be presenting about the protozoa. So my group members are myself, Lau Hui and also Arif Hasman. So what is protozoa? Protozoa are unicellular organisms and it is a large group, about 65,000 species, most of which are harmless, free-living and inhabit water and soil. A few species are pathogenic in nature, parasitize human and other animals, causing hundreds of millions of infections in a year around the world. Next, what are the characteristics of protozoa? Protozoa is mostly a unicellular organism, which I told you before, and it lives freely, maybe in parasitic or symbiotic. Protozoa is heteropods, and they move using their cilia, fracula, and also physiopodia. Protozoa carry out life processes such as respiration, reproduction, and also excretion. And protozoa also a fixed shape. Next, I will be showing you the different shapes and sizes of paramecium and also amoeba. So this is the movement and the shape of a paramecium species. As you can see, it has a fixed shape. And then the next video is about the amoeba. The amoeba species can alter its shape. The next I will be showing the diseases and also how it will be transmitted for another person. So the first disease is malaria, and its pathogen is Plasmodium species, which lives in the liver of a human, and it also can transmit through a bite of female mosquito. So I will be showing the video of the transmission through the blood. Okay, now the second diseases which caused by protozoa is dysentery, and the dysentery pathogen is N. amoeba histolytica, which lives in the colon of humans and transmits through the contaminated foods or water. Then the third disease is sleeping sickness, which is caused by trypanosoma gambians, which lives in blood of humans and transmitted through a fly. The fourth one is leukorrhea. The pathogen of this disease is Trichomonas vaginalis, which only occurs in the vagina of a woman and also transmit through the sexual contact. Last but not least, these are the ways of prevention of protozoal diseases. The first one is avoid consumption of contaminated water. The second is protect yourself from mosquito bites. Third is insect repellents. Fourth, avoid having stagnant water in your environment. Then avoid consumption of contaminated food, and also maintain proper nutrition and maintain good hygiene. Last but not least, as an adult, they must have a safe sex. That's all for now. Next, thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Today I will discuss about disease caused by pathogen. That is bacteria. Our group consists of me, Uchi, and Rosni. What is bacteria? Bacteria, also called germs, are microscopic organisms not visible with naked eye. Bacteria are everywhere, both inside and outside of your body. Bacteria can live in a variety of environments, from hot water to ice. Some bacteria are good for you, while others can make you sick. Bacteria are single cell. also known as unicellular cell, or simple organism. Grow small, bacteria are powerful and complex, and they can survive in extreme conditions. Bacteria have a tough protective coating that boosts their resistance to white blood cells in the body. Characteristic of bacteria. First is bacteria are prokaryote, which means no nucleus. Second, bacteria range from 1 to 10 micrometer long, which means very small. You can see without microscope, electron microscope. And third, some bacteria has plasmid, small DNA molecule which carry and genetic material. Fourth, nucleoid. Nucleoid means genetic material exists in form of chromosomal traits, also known as DNA, free floating inside the cytoplasm. These are the shape of bacteria. Firstly, bacteria have coccus, that is sphere, vibrio, shaped like comma, bacillus, rod or cylinder, spirillum, spiral. Bacteria can exist in a single cell, diploid, there is a pair, in filament, change or clusters. How do bacteria spread? First, air, water, food, and vector. These are the diseases of bacteria. Tuberculosis, caused by Microbacterium. Tuberculosis spread to the air from one person to another. E. coli, caused by Escherichia coli. Disease caused by food poisoning. Lastly, leptospirosis, caused by genus Leptospira, spread to animal urine. How can we prevent from these bacteria? First, always cover your mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Wash your hand after coughing or sneezing. For E. coli, wash your utensils. Use hot soapy water or knives, countertops and cutting board before and after they come into contact with fresh produce or raw meat. Leptospirosis, avoid touching fresh water or soil that may be contaminated with animal urine. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.